Wait for the little notification.
Yay.
Make sure it's working.
Haven't gotten it yet. Maybe I have. Nope. Still waiting. I haven't gotten it yet. Normally I get it right away.
Weird.
My phone lagging. My phone lagging.
I didn't get the notification, but we are live. I just looked on
Okay.
YouTube.
YouTube's doing us dirty.
That's all right. Eventually,
Okay.
like, get some sort of like intro music or something. Like, actually, I'm gonna do like get this up to another level.
Instead of us just being like, where's the notification? That could just be our intro every time. Wait for the notification.
Yeah, just nervousness. I like it.
What we're used to.
All right. A few people watching right now. Cool. We can probably just go ahead and get
started.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your normal introduction?
A little intro?
People
Sure.
know who we are.
All right, guys. Welcome to Grit Daily Dose with E Squared. I'm EJ, a CrossFit and nutrition coach for a local gym here in Portland. And we have
Emma. I'm also a CrossFit coach and working on my nutrition cert. I'm in Spokane, Washington.
Swolverine guru. That's what we.
Oh yeah, I do work for Swolverine. That is why I'm here. I do know a thing or two about the products.
She's definitely an expert when it comes to this stuff. I just know a little bit here and there, just mainly from experience and my own research and reading. But we really just try to be a one-stop shop for you guys on things science and experience-based knowledge with supplements, as well as nutrition, exercise, and really just overall lifestyle, living a healthy lifestyle to bring you honest education to help you along your journey towards whatever goal it may be. Today, we've got a conversation on exercise and supplements that can help you, whether it's before, during. We've already talked about post, but this, and then something that can help you just overall recovery as well. So I think we'll start with the pre-workout, Swolverine.
Yeah.
So take it away.
So Emma. Pretty. Okay, so our pre-workout right now, we only have one flavor, mango lemonade, that will be hopefully changing soon. It's a natural non-stim, which means no caffeine, proprietary blend free, and it's clinically dosed. So what that means is proprietary blend, oftentimes they'll kind of throw a bunch of crap in there and then they won't dose it properly. I think that's like the nice way to put it. So with our proprietary blend free, you know what's in there in terms of ingredients, and you know exactly how much of each ingredient is in your product. And then all of it is dosed clinically, which means you get the maximum benefit found, in clinical trials and things like that. So a lot of our products, if you guys are ever curious as to why we use certain things or maybe dose certain things, we have loads of clinical trials usually linked on our website under our products in the product description. So you're more than welcome to do a little bit of your own research there as well. So we have a lot of great things in our pre-workout, but I wanted to focus on two things that we include, which are the kind of the classic, what makes a pre-workout, which is the beta-alanine and the citrulline malate. Our beta-alanine is carnosine, which is like one of the only basically legit, I don't know what word
patented.
to use.
Like they are
patented, yeah. Brand by the FDA, which is I think like a pretty big deal because I feel like the supplement space can be kind of cloudy in that area. So it's really great when you can, if you ever see things using carnosine, you're in safe hands. So we have 3.2 grams of beta alanine in our pre-workout, which is the stuff that makes you tingly. So it is a non-essential amino acid that helps kind of balance out the buildup of acidity in your muscles, and then also kind of push off the lactic acid. So it not only helps you fight fatigue as you're working out, it also just kind of helps you come back, recover harder, faster, stronger, basically just by pushing that lactic acid buildup. So the recommended dose is about 3.2 to 6.4 grams per day with a loading and a maintenance phase. Most people just kind of take it in their pre-workout. The nice thing, and kind of why I wanted to focus on this as well, is at Swolverine we also carry unflavored beta-alanine and citrulline malate, and those are dosed at more of an average intake per day. I think both of them are 5 grams. I would need to double check. I know that the beta alanine is 5 grams per day. The citrulline malate, I think, is the same, but let me check. Yep. So 5 grams, which is the recommended dosing per day. And so if you guys ever wanted to take those individually or maybe control your dosing a little bit more, that is a way to go. They're both unflavored and just can go into anything, really. So then the next thing that we also offer, which is one of the more staple things in a pre-workout, is citrulline malate. We have 5 grams of that in our pre-workout. It is a combo of the amino acid L-citrulline and malic acid, so it helps increase ATP, which is the energy that gets your muscles going, basically. It's and then nitric oxide and muscle protein synthesis, which is basically the process in which your body rebuilds muscle and recovers and builds that muscle mass up. It also enhances amino acid utilization, which is really important. So basically just encourages your body to repair muscle faster and more fluently. And then the dosage is recommended 5 to 8 grams per day. Really, that might be something you talk to either a doctor about or maybe your nutritionist about, or like what dosing would fit your goals. But you can kind of consider both of these as like a dosing that's similar to creatine, which we're going to talk about later. I think as long as you get it in every day, these are a little bit more timing specific. A lot of people say with creatine, just take it when you remember to take it. Like maybe if you're taking your vitamins every day, it's important to take it during that time. This, especially with the beta alanine making you all tingly, it might be more important to take it before your workout. You don't want to be taking it before bed. The nice thing about our pre-workout, like I said prior, was no caffeine. That means you can take it. If you're a 6 p.m. workout person, you can take it then. It's not going to keep you up all night. And then the other things that we have are betatine and, did I say it right?
Betaine.
Betaine. See? So beta alanine, betaine, right. I confuse them. Anhydrous, and then L-carnitine and L-taurine. So I'm not going to go into super detail about this because I got a lot to talk about today. But basically, those are an assistance to performance and recovery and blood flow, things like that. The L-taurine mixed with the citrulline malate are great for blood flow, pushing the energy around the body, getting things where they need to go to help with the muscle fatigue. We also have coconut water, Siberian ginseng, and pomegranate, which are all addressed like to hydration, mental focus, inflammation. The Siberian ginseng is a
super
mental. big on the mental. And they're antioxidants, which is amazing. So it really just, the pre-workout overall helps with not only like mental focus as you're working out, your strength and your performance, gets you a little riled up and ready, helps with the endurance, but also really just helps with the recovery. And I feel like it's really hard to find a pre-workout that does the work on the back end, as opposed to just like gets you pumped and then it leaves you feeling like trash. What you want is to find something that helps later, or like mid-workout, right? There is seriously, every time I take this pre-workout, like I feel so focused and ready to go. I would recommend, as someone who's taken it for because it's so highly dosed, for females, a half a scoop at least to start. You might even just be able to stay at half a scoop is the best place to go. Yes, you might be giving up a little bit of the dosage, but unless you are used to that beta alanine kick, you'll probably want to stay at half a scoop for a little while, then work your way up. For me, I'm short, and I feel like it only has so much to go through. So I'm like riled up. I thought I was gonna like die the first
Just
time I
start
took a whole
hovering.
scoop. Yeah, I'm like, "Whoa," like rattling. My husband, even when he takes the pre-workout, he loves it. He said he accidentally took a full scoop his first time ever taking it, and he thought he was like gonna go nuts. So he was like,
Yeah.
went back to half a scoop, built his way up. For most men, a full scoop does the trick, but I think working
Hmm.
your way up is good. That clinically dosed, just be a little careful. I would also say maybe half scoop the if you get the unflavored and you want to control your dosage a little bit more, start with a half scoop, see how that treats you. But yeah, we originally just had unflavored citrulline malate and beta alanine and L-glutamine, and then we just had a flavored BCAA, so like at the OG part of our company, and that was because we wanted to kind of let people build your own, basically like your own workout all inclusive thing. We still offer all of those things, but now we have added a non-stim pre-workout that just is all included. So really the goal was just to not only create a pre that would help you in the beginning, but help you during and help you after. And we also have the other products, like I said, to build your own if you would like. But so that's a pre-workout. If EJ, if you want to add anything else or take it into intra, whichever.
The only thing I want to touch on is that citrulline malate. A lot of people don't necessarily
Mhm.
understand citrulline, and I get these questions. The difference between L-citrulline and citrulline malate. So L-citrulline is like the raw form, like you have L-carnitine, L-taurine, is
Mhm.
the raw form of of citrulline.
Mhm.
Then you have citrulline malate, which is just L-citrulline that's attached to malic acid. Okay, well, why choose one over the other? Well, L-citrulline, while it's great, takes a little longer for your body to absorb. Pairing it with malic acid helps to expedite the body's absorption rate. So that's why you see it a lot of the times. The effective dose of L-citrulline isn't that much. And so having it a 2-to-1 ratio at
Mhm.
5 grams in here is perfect. Just to clarify on that. But other than
That
that,
yeah, that's a really good one.
this is a workout that doesn't just jack you up on caffeine and give you a big crash. It gives you everything you just talked about. So that's
And
yeah,
especially right now when we only offer one that's non-stim, people are like, "Well, where am I supposed to get my caffeine?" I'm like, "Coffee, energy
yeah,
drink."
yep,
If
yeah,
you are someone who works out at 5 a.m. and needs a little kick, and that's what I did, is I would have my, um, you know, 1 cup of coffee or whatever, and when I would work out early in the morning, and then on the way to the gym, I'd start drinking my pre-workout and like rattle
perfect,
on out of the car and into the gym and be ready to go. So,
awesome.
okay, on to the intra. Take it away.
Intra, big
Whee!
picture. There we go.
I love this big fan.
Intro work, yeah, you guys' intro workout is possibly one of my favorites. I literally
Tastes
brought
so good.
my shaker bottle and it upstairs because I wanted to try to get it. Didn't
My
have
shaker
time.
bottle
That's all
is
right.
empty. I have no more. I drank it all.
Um, but the intro workout, as you can see in the picture, it states it at the top of it, and it is just that: it's energy, endurance, recovery, hydration, on the dot. It's you guys formulated it really to help maximize, obviously,
Mhm.
hydration, endurance factor, and improve someone's overall training and ability to recover. And I absolutely love it. So I'm going to dive in a little bit to this and give an explanation on some of the really mainly the big focus in this is the amino acids. That's a big player in you guys' intro workout. But there's also some other things that we'll touch base on. Um, so in this plethora of what you
It's a
guys
long
have on here,
list.
it is they have an extensive amino acid profile with their intro workout, which includes overall, right from the get go, you guys have 3 grams of like the big ones of the branched chain amino acids, the
Mhm.
L-leucine, the L-isoleucine, and the L-valine. Those are the big ones. And then you guys have was it like 4.3 grams or 4,300 milligrams of essential amino acids overall. Um, so with all that, um, as a
And
combination, amino acids. Go ahead.
do you want to explain what the difference, I guess we've mentioned non essential? And we've mentioned essential. Do you want to explain like why it's important to have an essential amino acid? If you weren't, I don't know if you were going to do that already, but I think that might be
A little
helpful.
bit. Let me get to my notes just because I wigging off the fly.
It's good. We like that. We're not just monotone
Uh,
reading it.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't like to not have notes.
Well, because I
Um,
feel like when even before really starting with Swolverine, like I really had a hard time figuring out not only what the difference is between non-essential and essential, but also
mhm.
like why is it important in some products and not important in others? Like why does the pre-workout have non-essential and then why does this have essential? And so like kind of why is it important?
Right. So with amino acids overall, amino acids in the long scheme are the building blocks of your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Your essential amino acids are the primary internal building blocks of those proteins that make up your muscles. And these aid in muscle recovery, strength, maintaining muscle mass, um, and the possibility of rebuilding muscle mass as well. Whereas and essential are just that. They're essential to your uh, survival.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk about branched chain amino acids, these are things that are usually brought in by food.
Mm-hmm.
Your body doesn't naturally make them, but these help more for performance based. So with those, they can minimize muscle breakdown, um, as well as increase the speed of your recovery and also stimulate any what you talked about with the L-citrulline malate,
Mm-hmm.
stimulate muscle protein synthesis. I really like how you guys include essential amino acids. You don't see that enough on the market, where people's diets these days don't always get enough because your body makes some of your essential
Mm-hmm.
amino acids, but they don't make enough. So amino acids in general are all absorbed in by the food you take, primarily protein sources. Branched chain amino acids are the most commonly formed that are found in protein sources, where a lot of your other amino acids can come from your fruits, your vegetables. You can get amino acids from plants,
Mm-hmm.
but the dominant of branched chain amino acids will come from proteins. And branched chain amino acids are the when proteins are broken down to their simplest forms, they become branched chain amino acids. Does that kind of explain it?
Yeah, I think too, there's a lot of like what came to mind is like, well, there's certain ones that you can get from food, right? Most of
Mm-hmm.
it is protein sources such as meat and chicken and fish and things like that. And a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
are like, well, why waste your money on a supplement when you can just eat it? And I'm like, who wants to have a piece of salmon like right after they work out? Like usually it's kind of
Yeah.
timing too. Like I love salmon. I'd love to have one for lunch, but I don't necessarily want one right at 10 a.m. when I'm done with my workout. And so why this is called intra is it's kind of in like in the middle of the workout ideally. Even me, admittedly, I'm not like a drink a fruity drink in the middle of like a long metcon, so I try to have it ready for right after my workout and then I chug it right when I'm
Mm-hmm.
like done working out. I'm not worried about, okay, I'm gonna like hurl this up if I'm drinking it in the middle of like a bunch of burpees, right? So
Yep.
and I sip on it if I have like a lifting day, whatever. But I usually just tell people like, why not kind of cheat the system a little bit, drink something that tastes great, and that you can enjoy, but also kind of basically hops on that building right away. Because otherwise, you're going to need to, in order to get the advantage of timing, like we have
Mm-hmm.
here with this product, you're going to need to like shove a steak in your mouth as soon as you're done working out. Not really anyone wants to do that. So,
No.
so
And the
this kind of gives you the
good.
benefit.
Yep. And the combination of you guys of having both branched chain amino acids and essential. So like with branched chain amino acids stimulating that synthesis, the absorption,
Mhm.
then essential amino acids help to create a more anabolic effect in your body.
Mhm.
Then both of them come together and they're focused on the recovery or preservation, recovery, and building a rebuilding of muscles once they've been broken down, or also
Yeah.
as well as the prevention of them breaking down. So you don't find this that often of a combination of
Yeah.
both essential and branched chain amino acids.
And
But
I
really feel
just
like,
specifically like how everything's very individually dosed at. Like you can see how much each thing is, instead of just being like, oh, we have 4.3 grams at the top and then there's no further information. So you can know
absolutely.
how much. Because then if you figured out that you needed more of one thing, then you at least know what you're getting. Say if you decided you wanted more L-taurine, which you can take in like a capsule, it's nice to know at least that you're getting
300
300
milligrams.
milligrams in your interest, then you maybe only need to supplement a little bit more. So that's just, I appreciate that, because then sometimes I want to know, especially if you're talking with your doctor about certain things and maybe what you're missing and what would be helpful.
Yeah.
So that's just my
And
2 cents.
usually
But
the recommended dosage it's pretty wide. It's like 4 to 10 grams
yeah, you
every day.
never
And
really know.
you hit a big whammy right here, especially, I mean, if you're someone that's training
Yeah.
often, you immediately get over 4 grams, and that sets the bar already for your day. And from
Yeah.
there, you can get the rest probably from majority of your food.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
but
would say, we have games athletes that train like
3
4
or 4
hours on their
hours.
day off. So
Yeah.
it's like they train so many hours and they do a few scoops of intra just because they have to continually stay on top of not only hydration, but then their muscle recovery.
Yep.
Because if not, especially right now, they're gearing up for the games, they're probably wrecked.
Like
So
2 weeks out.
yeah, it's crazy. I'm excited.
And speaking of your hydration, that's the next
Yeah.
one I wanted to touch base on, is that you guys have electrolytes and coconut water powder in your intro. You guys also have, your coconut water powder is at 500 milligrams. And then you guys had a gram in your pre. So you're getting hydrated pre-workout, then intra-workout. Then there's also electrolytes. It's not a big spectrum of them, but it's a decent chunk when it comes to magnesium, sodium, potassium of getting you hit. Then you have also the pink Himalayan salt. Like that's 400 milligrams of it. That's a good sprinkle of salt, and to help with the electrolytes in that. Then just to reinforce your mental focus, like you guys have the ginseng in the pre-workout. There's ginseng in the intra. Refocus, especially if you're drinking during your workout or even after. It can help you refocus even after breaking down your body during the workout. Then you have like tart cherry, the spirulina, good micronutrients.
Tart cherry's huge.
Yeah.
I love that one.
And then also the pomegranate fruit powder. Just again, that's another product to help with like nitrogen movement throughout the body and blood flow. So this is a good.
I really like it. I enjoy the tropical blast more often. I would say the cherry frost is, my sister loves the cherry flavor, but she's always been a cherry person. So I usually tell people when I'm doing like tasting events and stuff like that, I'm like, you either love the cherry or you should just get the tropical blast, because I feel like in order to always want the cherry, then you got to be in the mood for it. Which one do you have?
This is the cherry one. Now, what I like, just to speak on it, what I like about the cherry, I'm in the same boat. I like the tropical one. More favorable. But what I like is when you get this, you smell it, and it smells like black cherry. Like it's strong. Then when you put it in a drink, I don't remember what you guys have on here. I think it's
the use instructions, or
I don't remember what it is.
I usually just
I fill up my water bottle almost all the way.
And it's
I
still
do like 16 ounces, and it's a nice, like light cherry flavor, but it's good. It's oh man, I've done it with 8 ounces, and it's still good. It's just strong, and I love that.
Yeah, I love I have one of each. I would say probably every 3 or 4 days I do the cherry, because I'm more in the mood for it. So cherry just can be a very specific flavor that I think certain people might not always want.
Oh, I like
A
it.
lot of I've had someone tell me they're like, cherry was ruined for me since a little kid when like every medicine was cherry flavored. So they're like, I can't have cherry anymore. I'm like, that sucks. Like even real cherries, like they're just
Yeah.
screwed. So, yeah. But just to speak on the flavors, I say the tropical blast normally kind of tastes like a Jolly Rancher, something like
Yeah.
sweet, like a sweeter candy, and then the cherry frost tastes like a cherry snow cone. So it's like really refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, has that, but that like frosty taste, I think, makes it taste like a
Hmm.
snow cone. So that's why I like it though, because it also like it with like nice crisp cold water, it tastes like a snow cone. I love it. So, okay, well, is that kind of
That's
what you
it
wanted to
on
talk
the
about
intro
intro?
workout.
Okay.
Yeah. You got anything else on it? We can shift to the creatine.
No, I think we can just jump into the creatine. I feel like we don't have to speak super long on it because it's such a well studied
Hmm.
product. So we can kind of just reiterate what people probably already know about it. But I wanted to speak more on why we carry creatine monohydrate and a creatinine. And
Okay.
if no one has ever really thought about a creatinine, maybe this will help them, you know, decide to
Okay.
go a certain route.
Yeah.
So the I guess creatine is a non-essential dietary protein-like compound that basically um, aids in the creation of ATP. There's a lot more that goes into it, but we'll just say it helps you create ATP, which is kind of like the energy that muscles use to get strong and fast and powerful. Um, you can read an amazing blog post on our website about it, like what the difference is. It really goes into detail. I would say the creatinine was created to help bypass like the not always, but pretty often side effects of regular creatine. So regular creatine, basically, creatinine is a um, patented creation of creatine, but it's just bicarbonate. Basically, sodium bicarbonate was added to it to neutralize the pH level. So it's a more pH corrected form of creatine, and this specifically helps to help with the GI issues or
Hmm.
the bloating issues that are caused with creatine. Like I said, not everyone has them. I've been able to take both, and I'm fine with both. Um, the other two nice things about creatinine is there's a smaller dosage required. So 1.5 grams of creatinine is equal to about 10 to 15 grams of creatine. So, and it also requires no loading or like deloading or anything like that. No specific phases. You can just take it and you're good. Um, and then there also is a correlated increase of VO2 max. So, kind of quote a certain study, we I can't remember who did the study. I'm gonna have to check. Um, they took 24 male athletes. 12 took 750 milligrams of creatine. 12 took 750 milligrams of creatinine. They had them on that for 4 months. They came back and they did a specific test, and 12 that were on Cree had a higher VO2 max. So that's pretty cut and dry. We have all of those clinical studies cited on our website if you want to look more into it. Is creatine and creatinine like is creatine like horrible compared to creatine? No, like they're pretty comparable, but I would say they do the same. I usually just say that if you don't really know where to go, um, if you've never taken creatine before, you could start with a creatine monohydrate and see how you
Hmm.
do. If you have GI issues, whatever, then you can switch to creatine and pretty much rest assured that you'd be fine. Our creatinine is, or switch to Cree and you'd be fine. Our creatinine is more expensive. So I usually tell people if you're motivated by price and you don't have issues, you'll be fine. Like, and if you're just a regular person who just wants to make sure your muscles are being cared for as you're destroying them in the gym every day, right? Like monohydrate will do you just fine. Um, if you want higher quality, if you want no issues at all in terms of digestion or, um, maybe less dosing or whatever, I think creatinine is the better route to go if you're not super worried about price there. So I would say we have a pretty solid consumer base of both. Um, if you look
Yeah.
at if you look at like our games athletes, they're taking Cree obviously, right? Like they're going to be taking the higher quality stuff that needs to be through their system faster, working a little bit faster. The absorbency rate is a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really like kind of the biggest difference there. So yeah, I figured
Yep.
that's kind of wanted to address that because a lot of people ask us why we offer both. So it kind of depends on your goals and your needs.
Absolutely. I agree with what you're saying, that if you're kind of like the everyday, maybe a not semi, but quarterfinals athlete, creatine monohydrate is fine, or
Yeah.
just everyday warrior getting after the gym, maybe do some local competitions, or even not. You just want to help support your muscles. Creatine monohydrate, 100% the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
By no means are you cutting corners going that way or cutting yourself short, because Swolverine does use microionized creatine monohydrate, which is the highest form, 99% purity. It's they take their diligence to incorporate that. And if it's not
Mm-hmm.
Swolverine, then just find a microionized creatine, whatever you do as a monohydrate. But again, if you're at a higher level, or if you have the GI issues, the bloat, or even you don't like the additional water retention that happens sometimes, again, can make you feel bloated, or you like to feel a little leaner. The
I would say like
crealkaline,
maybe if you're a bodybuilder, like,
yeah,
you know, something like that, take Cree, so then you can just rest assured that you won't have any extra water retention. There are a lot of studies coming out that they're saying like they're not really even sure if like it's just, I feel like it's so person dependent. So,
is.
you know, if you are in a sport where you really need to make sure that you don't take any chances in terms of water retention, things like that, maybe you have to make weight if you're a wrestler, or like, you know, things where you need fast recovery and you don't want any side effects. Cree is just going to treat you so well. So, yeah, just feel like if you're willing to pay for, I think, what is it, like $10-15 more? It's not like a break the bank difference. It's just, you
It's
know,
not. It's not.
yeah.
Both of them are 60 servings,
Yep.
so it'll cover you for
2 months
a couple months.
ish. Yeah.
So yeah,
But
this
take it
is
every day. If you want the difference, that if you want the benefits of creatine, you need to take it every day. And I think
yeah.
people, you know, that's one thing where you and I have agreed before, EJ, in the past, where we were like, hey, we're not going to give people supplements until they know to take a multivitamin every day. This is one of those things. Creatine has so many benefits and it's amazing. But if you can't take a freaking Flintstone gummy every day consistently, I'm not going to make you pay $50 to get a creatine when you're going to take it once a week and it won't do anything. So the benefit of consistency is really, really highlighted with creatine. I mean, my brother has taken 5 grams of creatine every day for like 8 years, like pretty much without fail. And it shows. I mean, his recovery is crazy. It's been consistent, but it's one of those things, just like nutrition. You can't be goofing off. You got to like have consistent things in play. You know, maybe you miss a day every few months, whatever, no big deal. But you got to get consistent with creatine to see the difference.
And that's what it comes in kind of like with some of our qualifying questions today. Like, if you're like, when do I start using these products? Which is great. That's a great sort of question. When do you need it? Well, figure out your freaking nutrition first. You don't have trash nutrition and think that if you're taking pre-workout, creatine, intra-workout, apple cider vinegar gummies, like whatever it may be, that's going to fix the issue. Fix yourself and your nutrition before incorporating supplements. Once you're to about about 80% efficiency in your nutrition, then we'll look at supplements. Do you agree?
I just love that they're literally called supplements and people think that they're like a magic pill. I'm like, no, it's supplemental to like what, you know, like there are, you know, I really like that you said 80%, because there are some situations where people will just need to rely on a way to get them to their protein intake some days, right? And that's just that's fine. As a busy mom, like the plant protein a scoop of that once a day, man, that saves me the stress of 20 grams of protein, right? And so that's just helpful in so many ways. But I'd say, make sure that you're doing what you can. And my biggest thing, like personally, I would say when I approach supplements is I really like dig down and ask myself, like, will there be that nugget of like, Emma, you don't need to be spending 20, 30, whatever dollars on this product when you could just be doing a little bit more of this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I try to approach that as well when I have nutrition clients. Like if I ask them to do something, but I'm not willing to do that myself, it's the same, like comes from the same part of my brain. Like, am I trying hard enough in just the everyday taking care of myself? Because a lot of it too can come at a cost of your mental well-being and things like that, right? So right now I'm really relying on that scoop of protein when I'm sleep deprived with the baby and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
having that mental of like, oh, okay, I can just take a scoop of my protein and feel better. I don't need to worry about making a giant meal right now. At some point in the next year when baby's a little older and he's sleeping more, I can worry more about making more real food. But so there's a time and place for supplements, but you got to be honest with yourself. So if you guys ever need someone to keep it real with you, EJ and I can be those people. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And then the other one I want to touch base with is like product description, or like what things to look for in a pre-workout or intra-workout or in supplementation, like across the board. Well, first off is label transparency. Swolverine does it, and while we reference Swolverine all the time, if Swolverine is not the products you buy, that's okay. We just stand behind Swolverine. We're not trying to convince you left or right. It's just find something that has label transparency. Find stuff that's clinically dosed, so it's going to be effective and might be a little bit more than the just bare minimum that's in this on product that's been tested and backed. Um, where else do I look for? And it's an effective mix of everything. Like there's one thing I'd look for in a supplement company. Look at their website. If they don't, like,
Dude,
Swolverine does a fantastic job of backing
website
stuff.
is huge. I was literally going to say that. Like, people forget to look at the website.
They've got study after study. Man, there's a lot of posts that have been, the time's been put in to put posts in, to write information for you guys so that you can make an educated decision on what you get and what you spend your money on. And there's always someone, like, right off the bat, the bottom right of the corner, hi, need any help? And you're talking to a person, or just reach out to myself or
Yeah.
Emma, and we'll be happy to help facilitate you in the right direction. If it's not, again, Swolverine, that's okay. But we just know these products and we know the value of them. But that's the biggest thing. Those are some of the things to look for when it comes to looking for products. You got anything to add to that?
That website tip was so important, and that's honestly why I started using Swolverine before I even worked for them. Was I could go on their website and actually understand what the heck the product was, because I would be so overwhelmed, even just like Googling it. Sometimes like the things that come up, it's just overwhelming and there's ads popping up and you just like don't know what's going on. You're trying to read this like long drawn out, blog post or whatever it is, article and clinical studies that half the words don't make sense, right? So like I just loved that I could pop onto the website and look at like, oh, this is what beta alanine is, and understand in layman terms. And then if you don't really understand the product description, we have loads of blog posts that really draw it out and talk about it, and use examples and things like that. Yeah, I just like that it was straight up, and we have pictures of the labels on there, which is sometimes hard to find. It's hard to find the ingredient list a lot of times in certain websites. So I would just say, like, if it's not super obvious, super out there, maybe just look at a different website. So thankfully, the supplement world is starting to produce a few more ethical brands. So of course, I would say we are among those, but there are like 3 or 4 other brands I've heard of recently. I can't think of all of them on the top of my head, but there's a few that I've been like, someone told me about them and I looked at their website. So that's the first thing I do. And I'm like, oh, like I wouldn't feel super sketched out or,
Using it, yeah.
using one of their products because they have listed everything here. So that's kind of, I feel like website is so overlooked.
One other thing when it comes to finding a company, now this is just me, hit my mic. This is just me, but I try not to pick from big box.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get to that level, not all of them, but what I've seen is that many of them, once they reach that production capability and they're getting like in Costco, in Walmart,
Yeah.
you start seeing quality go down for that level of production. So when you have someone like you guys who are like you're up in Tacoma and you have like Walter who's what in Nevada,
We're based out of Nevada.
Arizona,
Walter just moved to, we're based out of Reno.
Reno.
And
That's right.
then, yeah. And so most of the team is there. I'm up in Spokane. And then Walter just moved to Durango, Colorado. His
Okay.
family there. And so it's just funny. Like, we're just such a small team. I think there's like 7 of us, 8 of us. Poor Ruben is just, as we're growing, which is great that we're growing. Poor Ruben's just struggling in the warehouse. So, but I just love it. Like, we're a small community, like these are our Instagram, like that's my Instagram handle, like people message me about supplements a lot just because they know I'll just tell them what the truth is. But I would say I agree. It is expensive to make supplements. It's very expensive to manufacture things. And as soon as you get to a production rate that is so high, I do, in a way, even though I don't think it's great, I understand why production or quality of products would have to decrease in order to still produce the amount that's demanded if as soon as you go into Costco and Walmart and things like that. That's why a lot of the products in Costco, I always tell people, like, if you're not going to buy Swolverine because it's expensive, don't go to Costco and buy this other product because it's cheap. Like, you're just wasting money. Yes, you're not spending as much on a quality product, but you're still wasting $20, just because you didn't want to spend $40 on something with us. So there is a reason why good supplements are expensive, and you just have to really know, like, that's why we say, like, do your research, understand where you're at with your nutrition and your lifestyle habits. If then those things justify using supplements, you also need to come to terms with the fact that good supplements will be more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you're not going with the, like, obviously don't buy like the insane, there are some insanely priced products out there. Try to find what's in the middle that still has great transparent labels. But at the same time, I would just rather you not use any supplements at all if you're going to go for the crappy stuff that is kind of sketchy, in giant made amounts. So it is interesting seeing the backside in my position where I'm not directly correlated to the manufacturing, and I'm not trying products all the time and putting out new products. Like Walter and Alex are doing that frequently, but it's interesting just knowing them personally and how they're just kind of warriors for the truth. They want to know more information and they want to spread information and make things educational for people. Because not only they've just done that for me plenty of times. So as someone who worked for them, so I feel like they would do that for everyone. But yeah, I do agree with that. Like, it is very expensive to make supplements. So you gotta understand the backside of it sometimes in order to understand the price of things. So
cool. You put that very well.
That's my spiel.
Spiel. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I know this episode was a little longer for you guys, and I appreciate everyone's patience and sticking out. And hopefully, this was educational for you. If you guys have any questions, comment below or comment in the video.
Hit us up on Insta.
Yep.
We're around.
If you ever see me at the gym, hit me up. If they see Em at the gym, hit her up.
I need to go I need to hit up 346. I wish I could be at the Wadtober Fest. That sounds like fun.
You're missing out. That's
I
all right.
know.
It's all right. Life happens. We'll get you down here sometime.
All right.
But stay tuned for the next episode. I think we're going to be diving into lifestyle and some products on that. So look forward to seeing y'all later. Have a great rest of your week.